So let's talk about Winchester, the new horror movie that came out this past week. Um, Now I'm a really big horror fan, and I want to see almost mostly everything that comes out horror related. Like that's my genre that I will watch, despite the bullshit, like bullshit bad movies that come out of the horror genre. I'll watch good or bad. Um, and Winchester is one of those where it falls in like the middle ground category for me in terms of quality. Because this movie itself, I didn't know anything about the Winchester Mansion really at all. I just heard about it, but I didn't know really the details about it. And I thought that the positives for me that came from this was that it was interesting showing how this mansion is being built and why. As you learn throughout the movie, it kind of gives you this cool reasoning why the house has got all these weird things about it, like how it's being built and how it's uneven, like as a house, like they're just building on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, building on to this house in weird random ways. And I really like how the movie by the end tells you what this was, like why this is the way it is, why they're doing such odd things with this house. And I really liked the performances too. I thought that Helen Mirren was really good. I thought that she, to me, brought something that you wouldn't think would work as well in this type of horror movie. Like if it was just a random couple of random ass actors that were not famous, then this probably would have just flopped immediately. But this one, even, and I'm not saying that with just a big actor that's good in a movie means you're going to get a lot of people watching it. I don't think that at all, but I think that it helps. And I think that Helen Mirren is a good thing about this movie. Like she really does give it her all with this performance, and I really liked the Sarah Winchester character herself and how you really understand by the end how why she's doing all this and everything about her. And I can't say without spoiling it, but you really get a feeling about this character, and the performance of Helen Mirren makes it really way more. It gives more of a credibility to it than if it was any other random person. And Jason Clarke, who is an actor who is not always like the main lead in movies, like a sub character in this. I mean, he's basically the second person after Helen Mirren in this movie in terms of acting wise and in terms of just popularity. Like he is probably the second after Helen Mirren. So that to me did give a more credibility like Helen Mirren, because Jason Clarke is a good actor. And he hasn't, and I haven't seen all his movies, but if he has done anything that he's the main character in, or the main lead in, I don't remember, haven't seen it. But I think he's really good in this too. I think he brings a lot of credibility as well. I think that the way he goes about it is he's not sleepwalking through this. He's actually giving a reasonable performance that is pretty good. And I really was interested in like that character too, like how he is this doctor who Sarah Winchester invites in, and he kind of t- uh, like keeps track of what is going on while he's there. And I like that. I like that idea, even though it's been done a lot of times in horror movies where a person comes in, a doctor, and they do an analysis of like the goings on in the house. And I think that it was fine here. I thought he did a good job. Um, but the movie, the negative for me, like the big negative, besides those positives, which I think are good things about it that I just mentioned, the big negative for me is that the movie suffers a lot from stupid ass jump scares. Like they are really, really just not trying, and it's sad because the acting is good in this. It really is good, and the ideas around this are cool. But then you got the stupid ass jump scares that, to be fair, a couple of them we already see in the trailer, and they're probably the biggest moments in the movie that you see the jump scares. So that didn't have it going for it. But but to me, it's like I love horror films. I watch almost any of them, like anything horror I can watch, good or bad. But the thing that bugs me the most, as I have gone farther into watching more horror movies, is that jump scares are so terrible. When they're done terrible, they're even more graining and just annoying. Like, I really didn't. I found none of these scary, and I know, and there are movies that have come out in the past year, a couple of years, that have fantastic jump scares that can be done well, but this is one of those where it goes really cheap and really just unscary at all. Not scary. It really did not get me at all. So that to me is the biggest negative. And like the movie itself is a little boring at times for me specifically, just because I felt like there are horror movies that do fantastic build up, and this didn't really have a giant build up to it. It just was slow, and I felt like that didn't contribute to making it greater. I just felt like it was kind of slow moving, but it never built up to anything fantastically. And again, that's another shame. It's just you look at the performances and the actors involved, the couple of big actors involved, and the ideas of this house and Ghost in this house and why she is building this, well, how she is building all these different random parts of the house, and you don't know why until they explain it in the movie. And I think that it's really cool. But it's just got stupid jump scares, and that really, really is such a shame, because this could have been so much better. But as it is, I think it is in the middle. It's got bad things about it, it's got good things about it. It's not going to be one that I'll watch again. But I'm not mad I watched it. I am just lukewarm about it. Like, it's got bad things and good things. It's not gonna make me remember it or make me forget it. There's not anything that overtakes the good or the bad for me. It's just right in the middle. So overall, Winchester was just really a lukewarm movie for me.